We got a whole series going about weird places in Nevada, Utah, Arizona, and even Idaho going on right now. In fact, we're going to cover all over the place. We started in Devil's Hole in Nevada, where the water splashes around whenever there's earthquakes all the way in Japan. There was legends of a giant ogre guarding Devil's Hole and also a giant at Pyramid Lake that was hunted by the Washoe tribe and the Paiute. Pyramid Lake in Nevada has petroglyphs that are 15,000 years old, 10,000 years older than the pyramids of Egypt, and also the beautiful ancient legend of the Stone Mother whose tears filled Pyramid Lake. Pyramid Lake used to be part of the ancient prehistoric Lake Lahontan, and now, if you look over there on the border of California and Nevada, you see Lake Tahoe. At 1,644 feet deep, Lake Tahoe is the second deepest lake in the United States, next to Crater Lake in Oregon. Lake Tahoe is amazing and beautiful, and it sees thousands of tourists every year because it's beautiful aquamarine colored water. I mean, just look at how stunning this is. These giant boulders, the beautiful view, look how clear the water is. But before modern settlers arrived, it was inhabited by the Washoe people. They have a legend that goes back thousands of years of a giant man-eating bird that hunted over Lake Tahoe called the Ong. The Ong is said to be a bird that is so big that from wingtip to wingtip, it is wider than a tree is tall. So if you go to Lake Tahoe and you look at how tall the trees are, the wingspan of the giant man-eating Ong bird was bigger than the height of a tree. And this thing is said to have had the face of a terrible warrior, whatever that means. Who knows, maybe there was some kind of a prehistoric giant bird that was living over Lake Tahoe and they had to deal with it back in the day. We are so lucky in the times that we live. We don't have to worry about very much, but can you imagine being in the Washoe tribe and going to sleep or going out to fish or hunt and being worried about the giant Ong, this giant man-eating bird coming down and snatching you up? That would be absolutely terrifying. And not only that, there was probably giant creatures living in Lake Tahoe. And just like the Loch Ness has Nessie, Lake Tahoe has Tessie. This is an actual picture from Lake Tahoe that was taken that looks like some kind of a prehistoric creature out on Lake Tahoe. Not just one, but dozens of people have seen what looks like some kind of a giant serpent, like Gigantoboa or something like that, that surfaces occasionally on the water. Here's another photo that somebody caught from their cabin off the balcony. Here, I'll zoom in. This is what it looks like close up. There is even a story of two scuba divers that were going down and exploring the lava formations and caves and tunnels at the bottom of Lake Tahoe, and they claimed that they encountered some kind of a giant serpent that shot out of the cave and swam past them that terrified them. Is it possible that Tessie, some kind of a prehistoric giant serpent or creature, is still living in the depths at 1,600 feet down in Lake Tahoe? And if such a thing could exist and is still living there, is it possible that it's going back and forth through these lava tubes from Pyramid Lake to Lake Tahoe? And that's why there is all these sightings from both lake, from one to the other, and why sometimes people go missing in one lake and then their body turns up in the other lake. Lake Tahoe also has ancient legends of water babies. These are ghost spirits of unborn infants or children that died who were placed in the lake for burial of some sort of a ritual. And it is said that their spirits inhabit Cave Rock at Lake Tahoe. I think Lake Tahoe and Pyramid Lake and these locations that we're talking about in this whole series are so fascinating, so cool. Let me know if you've ever been to Lake Tahoe. I think it's full of so much ancient history with the Ong and the giant ancient creature, the Tessie monster that seems to swim under the lake. Let me know if you've ever heard of these legends, and if there's any other places that you think that I should talk about, or maybe even go visit, and we'll make sure and feature it on this entire series that we've got going on. Also, if you've made it this far, make sure and go check out my YouTube channel where I film entire feature-length documentaries. Some of them are an hour long, some of them are even 4 to 6 hours long, so make sure and go check them out.